Hello everyone, Gorgarden here, and today I'm going to be telling you about my possibly haunted apartment. So this all started last October. I was looking for my first apartment to move into, and I decided to go with an apartment in the same complex that my friend lives in. Well, I go through the process of looking and checking one out and seeing when one's available, and I wouldn't have been able to really move in until probably closer to the beginning of this year. But hey, let me go ahead and get closer to it so that way it's ready to go and I don't have to wait again. But luckily, the apartment manager calls me and says, "Hey, I've got one that actually just opened up. You're not going to have to wait for a one-bedroom apartment to be available." Okay, great. Start going through the process of having the deposit, first month's rent, setting up everything, all the things I need to do. And as we're getting closer for me to move in, I go hang out with my friend one night. It's Friday night. It's 1 week till I'm supposed to move in on the 10th. And hanging out with my friend, and he tells me, "Oh, by the way, I wonder what building you're going to be in. You never told me what a building and apartment number." So I tell him, and he's like, "That's crazy, because my brother told me that one of his friends who lives in that building told him how a girl died last month in her apartment in that building." So we get out, and we go over to the building that I'm going to be living in, and he gets up the stairs, and he sees the apartment number I point out. He's like, "Yeah, that's the one," because he was told by his brother the layout of which apartment it was, but not which number. So we get back to his apartment, and now I'm conflicted. I'm like, do I really want to move into an apartment that they didn't tell me somebody died in? I've never lived anywhere that someone died in the house before, or the apartment or whatever. But it was too late by then. So much steps have been done. I was like, you know what, whatever. I need an apartment at this point. I want to get my own place, blah, blah. So fast forward to the day I move in, and they're like, "Oh, you came really early. Usually people move in the afternoon." I'm like, "Oh, okay, sorry." They're like, "We got to clean the apartment, whatever." "Okay, we'll come back." So they clean the apartment, we go in to move stuff, blah, blah, and we're looking at the appliances and everything, and I notice in the washer there's a pair of underwear and socks still in there, and I'm like, that's great. Throw those out, keep going on, whatever, keep moving in, blah, blah. Well, my friend also made the joke at some point that he shouldn't have told me anything about it. He should have just waited till I was moved in, and then, that night, left and be like, "Yeah, by the way, somebody died in here." And how the girl passed was, from what I understand, she was 28, she had heart medication she was on, and supposedly she overdosed from it. I don't know. But you're probably thinking, well, people die all the time. What's that got to do with anything? Yeah, some people believe in superstitious stuff or supernatural stuff where somebody dies and their spirit's still here, but people die all the time. How does this make it haunted? Well, all the events I'm going to tell you about that follow up after this is really kind of why I feel like it's haunted, or maybe it's just me, but some of these things can be chalked up to just in my mind or nothing at all, but some are very weird. So the first weird occurrence I had was when I first moved in for a couple months or so. It felt like anytime I'd leave the apartment to go to work or whatever, either I'd leave a light off and it'd be back on, or I'd leave a light on and it'd be off by the time I got back. Now this could just be me forgetting to turn them off, or me thinking I left them on when they weren't, blah blah. Still pretty strange. Next occurrence is how my bedroom's set up. You have a door in a corner, a wall on the other corner, and then a window on the left. Where I would be set up is my bed would be by the corner, by the door, to where if I slept on my left side, the window would be what I'd be facing towards the door. Now this is another occurrence of possibly just me in my mind, and I'm sure millions of other people have felt this, but it felt like somebody was standing behind me, staring at me with my back turned. Not just like, oh, somebody's there. It's a feel of dread. We arranged my room, put my bed towards the back corner of the wall to where the window was on my right. Never happened again, never had that feeling. The thing that was weird is laying in bed one night, had my door closed, watching TV, and I either had my kitchen light on or my stovetop light on, and I could see the light under the door. For some reason I looked down at the light and something blocks it to where it goes dark, and the light didn't turn off or anything because the light was still on when I got up the next morning. Mind you, I do have a cat now that I took in a stray, but back then I didn't have any pets, so nothing and nobody else here lived here that could have blocked the door. And what did my ass do? I just went to bed. I was like, nope, and then laid down. My coworker said I should have checked it out at the time, but at the same time it's that's the only way into my living room, and if there's anything in there or someone in there, they're going to block me from getting to my front door, so no thank you. Never had anything like that happen again. But the next part is also weird and annoying. I'd have this thumping sound come from behind my shower and stuff, and it could just be part of something in the wall with the apartment, some pipe or something, but wouldn't be so just normal if it hadn't been for the time I was recording a video like this on something else and it keeps thumping, and I turn around and I say, "Hey, could you stop that?" and it stops. But it would go on and on and on and on and on, and that has stopped too, I've noticed. After that, it was just one occurrence of I'm laying in bed and my closet door just kind of flies open. It doesn't slam open, but it moves with enough speed that it feels like somebody pushed it open. Another weird occurrence, not necessarily a haunting thing, but just weird that it would happen to me, is one night I come home and I find a bat outside my apartment door. I got it to a rescue couple that takes them in, and it seems to be doing okay now, but it was just really weird that of all the apartment doors that could be in front of it was mine. Of course, I haven't seen any apparitions or anything, but enough weird stuff has happened that made me go, like, this might be an apartment that's haunted. If some of these things that happen were just a one-time occurrence, I'd be like, it just happens. And like with the thumping behind the shower, it felt like somebody was going crazy on the drums at times. Now, things have kind of calmed down now, and it's been calmer ever since I got my cat. I don't think that's correlated or any kind of connection there, but all in all, weird stuff. But yeah, that's my story on my possibly haunted apartment.